Your West Radio Facebook page. We're on the PWR app. We're live on Instagram, on your smart speakers, and on the website. And on the way this evening, Gordon Thomas, Tom Dyer, and myself will get straight into the weekend's top sporting stories from across Pembrokeshire. In local football, the West Wales Cup dominated the Pembrokeshire sides. There were stacks of goals. We also had a great win for Haverfordwest County at Barla on Friday night that leaves them second with 11 matches played. We've got local rugby, the Sport Pembrokeshire Awards. If you did the Cardiff half yesterday, we'd love to hear from you as well. We'll give you a mention on the show. And our guest is with us right from the start. That's Neyland cricketer Patrick Hannon, but one of the lead organisers from the Pembroke County Cricket Club of the really popular and growing Indoor Cricket League. So we're going to get straight to that in just a sec. Gordon, evening to you. How are you?
I'm very good. I had a lovely weekend, Ben. It happened to stay dry, which was good, so I managed to see a couple of football games. And yesterday it was nice to see Spurs get back to true form.
Yeah, Spurs getting back to Spursy ways, really, wasn't it, yesterday?
I had a lot of stick last week, Patrick. This is just...
Yeah, we'll maybe come to that a bit later. Probably the worst 45 minutes I've had as a Tottenham fan for a long, long time, that second half. That was painful.
We were winning the league last week.
Wow, it was painful. Evening, Tom, you right?
Evening, very well, thank you. Less sore than last week after turning out for Broadhaven seconds against Loreni.
Excellent stuff. All right, good to hear from both of you. And we are going to go straight to our guest this evening, who is Patrick Hannon. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, look, it's really good because we over the last few years, we've given lots of coverage to the Indoor Cricket League, and the popularity of it continues to grow. And we are just 2 weeks away, aren't we, from the 2024 Indoor Cricket League starting? How are you all fixed?
Yeah, it's been a very good start to the season because we've had a lot of interest in new teams. So we've got 16 teams in this year's competition, which is great. And notably as well, Crymych and Saundersfoot were very interested in entering the team. But given the longevity of the competition, I think they needed a few more committed members to have a squad because it is hard finding six if you've only got six in your squad for each week. So they were hoping to enter next year now, get the appetite back and hopefully a couple of more interested people within their team. So it would be great to see them two come in next year if we can. But yeah, 16 teams in this season's competition.
That's amazing, and we should do some mentions actually for the new teams that are brand new for this season. Patrick, who are they?
So Loreni have entered, which is really good to see them. They're quite a formidable side in the outdoor game, having won that big trophy in the outdoor season. That's great. So it's good to see them in the indoor league. Haverfordwest are returning, and they've actually entered two teams, calling themselves Haverfordwest Lightning and Haverfordwest Thunder. Following the Welsh Fire there, I think, isn't it? Yeah. It's good to see them back with two teams as well, which is great. They've got a healthy squad, I'm told, from Captain Chris from Haverfordwest as well. So that's good. And Pembrokeshire Seniors have entered a B team, which is always good to see them enter because they're very experienced cricketers and they do help everybody else in the game as well.
Well, listen, Gordon and Tom will come in just a sec, but just for people watching at the moment and listening who might not be familiar with the indoor format, could you just explain it to people, Patrick, how it actually works? Because it's really entertaining to watch and play in.
Yeah, it is. So, this competition's been around for quite a while now, but I think the overall game is to keep going on the overall ECB indoor. So the Pembrokeshire winners represent Pembrokeshire in the Welsh finals. The Welsh winners represent Wales in the regional zone finals, and then the ultimate goal of playing at Lords. And when I started 3 years ago in this role, I always wanted to try and support the Pembrokeshire winner any way I can. And I think the only way that we can do that is if we actually follow the ECB rules. Historically, Pembrokeshire League have played a 10-over format, which isn't the ECB rules. And each bowler can bowl 2 overs. And from the Welsh finals onwards, they follow the ECB rules. And I've always wanted to do that in this competition. And we've done it for Division 1 this year. So the format is slightly different between the two divisions. So 6 teams will be competing in Division 1. And they are following the ECB format of 12 overs per team. Playing each other twice. and it's going to be 3 overs maximum per bowler. It's quite time limited, so people and captains have committed to me that they will ensure their teams are ready for the start and make sure that they have a quick changeover, because they do want to follow this format as well, because they understand what the prize is at the end of the day, and what that is. You know, if you go all the way, you can play in Lords. What a thing that is for everybody. So I've always wanted to do it, and I'm pleased this year that we are doing it. And then that leaves Division 2 then for all remaining teams, and there are 9 teams in that. So there's 9 plus, there's 15 altogether, beg your pardon, not 16. Last minute dropout. But yeah, 15 teams in total. There are 9 in Division 2. They'll play each other once in a 10 over format. And what I have said is that next year we'll try and even up the divisions. So promotion and relegations won't be the typical one goes down and potentially one goes up. It does mean that it's going to be an end to finals day. Last year and in recent years, we've had a finals day, so that bit of a end of season do really for the finals day. But basically, whoever wins Division 2 will definitely go up into Division 1, and then it's a caveat then that others may follow just to even up the numbers.
Nice. Okay, Gordon.
Yeah, Patrick, it's great to see that the numbers are picking up in the indoor league, because obviously Neyland are very strong and you've got a great facility down there. How have you got the other teams to actually participate? Has it been a lot of communication between you and the clubs to get them playing? Because I know there should be other clubs involved in this competition just to keep them going throughout and get prepared for the summer months.
Yeah, I mean, sport in Pembrokeshire is quite, everyone does other sports, it seems to be. So, typically in the winter, there's rugby, there's football, and sometimes there's quite a lot of clashes. So to get a squad interested in playing cricket in the winter is hard. As I mentioned at the top of the show, Crimmock and Saundersfoot were both very interested in entering the team, but couldn't get a firm 10 committed, really, because you need a squad of 10 for a 6v6 indoor game. And there are some interest out there. Every time I speak to other clubs that haven't entered, they're like, yeah, it'd be really good to enter. It'd be really good for the game. It's just that commitment. It does clash with a lot of people's football training, rugby training. So it is difficult in that sense. And due to the hall availability, Division 1 games will be on Monday nights this year, and Division 2 games will be on Wednesday nights. And the ladies' competition will follow on from the men's on a Monday and Wednesday, starting from February.
Well, that's good news as well, because predominantly, if my memory serves me right, I know I'm getting a bit old, but it used to be played on Sunday mornings, which was never a great time to play after playing football or rugby on a Saturday. Not just because of sports injuries, but due to lifting their arm a little bit too much on the Saturday night.
Yeah, that's right. And that was the feedback from the captains and the umpires, actually. So at the end of the season or a couple of months ago, I did ask for a little bit of feedback from players, playing captains and the umpires. And the overwhelming thing was Sundays just isn't working. So we managed to get enough space in the hub for that. We are starting, I think, a week later than last year, and that's just because working it all out with the bookings off the hall and making sure it's all free and available. But we've managed to get a good scheduled program in. I think players are looking forward to it. It'd be interesting to see how the 12 over format works in Pembrokeshire, because it does mean you don't need that 5th bowler. So with the format, with 12 overs and a maximum of 3 each, you can get away with just playing 4 bowlers. Whereas in the 10 over format, 2 overs maximum a bowler, you do need a 5th bowler, and sometimes people struggle with that. So that could benefit other teams. It could make teams stronger, but it'd be interesting to see how that works.
But it does sharpen up skills, doesn't it, through the winter as well, and also keeps a bit of that camaraderie going between the players that are playing for the clubs. You don't have that big break between the cricket season finishing and starting again. And the standard is really good, Pat. And of course, 2 sides will qualify for the Welsh finals, as we've said. So there's a real carrot there for teams to take it seriously. And it will be really competitive as a result, won't it?
Yeah, well, and I think I play for Neyland as well now and again, and it's probably been dominated by Neyland, to be honest with you, in the last 12 years indoor. Haverfordwest the exception in that, but to have two representatives in the Welsh final, I hope it gives other people that incentive then to actually be playing for that place. And whilst I have done away with finals day as a result of that, what I have done, and this was based on feedback from the captains, one captain suggested this format, and everyone seemed to like it. So the winner of Division 1 will automatically qualify for the Welsh finals. And if you finish in second and third place in Division 1, you'll have a playoff game
That's
to play.
good as well.
Winner then will have that second place in the final. And I've also scheduled in games for those two representatives to play against the county select team on an evening, and that's the Monday before the Welsh finals. There's a bit of a warm-up, but also as well to give other players who perhaps, over the years, we've had very good players of indoor, trying to nurture some youngsters through. So I hope it gives them a bit of an opportunity that you may not play in the best team, but you're a very good player and you might, get picked to play for your county, which is always a good thing.
For younger people watching them, what skills do you need indoor? And obviously, being involved with Neyland, you'll have seen that at first hand because you have done brilliantly in the indoor format. What are the skills you look for to play?
I think
indoor?
fielding is a massive part of it, which is, I think, what has set Neyland apart probably over the years, is to be on your toes in the field. But also, what probably people don't appreciate is that you have to bowl in the right areas, because if you can try and bowl in the areas to make the batsman hit where you want them to hit it, then you can set a field to that. And I think that's a skill that's probably undervalued for indoor, and not all teams understand that. They think, it's indoor, I just bowl as fast as I can, or what have you, and they won't be able to hit it. Or if they do hit it, it'll hit so hard it'll just bounce back off the wall and we won't run. But actually, if you can set a field to where you're going to bowl, we always talk about indoor 3-1 split or a 2-2 split, and by that what we mean is you have two fielders on the leg side, two fielders on the offside, or two on the offside and only one on the leg side. Well, if you do that, don't bowl down the leg, because you haven't got any. They don't fully understand that, I don't think. So that's a good skill for indoor.
Excellent stuff. All right, so Monday, 21st of October, we're 2 weeks away, and then the women's competition will follow straight after the men's is done. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So the ladies' organizer is Sam Rossiter from Hook and Pembroke County Cricket Club. So she's the organizer of that. So I don't think she's got the full programme set up yet, but it is following on from there. And from what I'm told, there's big interest from the ladies' teams. I think last year, she had about 14 teams enter, and I think back is about the same again. So it's going from strength to strength, and I hope the format will try and make a couple of other clubs join, and if we can even up the divisions and get it a little bit more even, then I think that's only a good thing.
And as Gordon said, you've got a great venue as well, haven't you, at the Hub in Neyland, and also well supported by umpires each match night as well.
Yeah, we've had 6 umpires come forward, which is absolutely fantastic. Chris Stapleton always seems to be there every week. He loves it, so he's one of them again. Steve Williams will do it when he can. He does have other commitments on Monday and Wednesday nights, though. Neil Crucial, the same. He does have other commitments and work, so he has won. Jonathan Twigg, a new umpire for this year, he has expressed interest in umpiring, so he'll be involved. John Willington done an excellent job last year, and really enjoys supporting the indoor, and he's available for most Wednesday and Monday games, so that'd be good. And Rob Bellaby's always on hand. He's from Neyland, so it's always good to have him in the back pocket, because he can just notice if need be.
Yeah, well, listen, all the very best with it. It's great to hear that the popularity is just increasing, and I think it's going to make it really competitive. I know you're here mainly with your neutral hat on today, but You making Nayland the favourites, or any other sides we should watch out for?
No, I think I don't think Nayland will be favourites this year. I think a couple of people are having a winter off, I think, so that might be a bit of an incentive for others. And with that second place in the Welsh finals, Pembroke done very, very well, but don't underrate right off hook. They're a very good young side coming up, and if they can have their youngsters committed every week, I think they'll be a force actually, based on last year. So yeah, I think them two I would say look out for.
I was going to say, Ben, isn't it a coincidence that on the season where Nayland nearly don't win the outdoor league, that two teams can go up from the indoor league?
Yeah,
It's going to be competitive. Yeah, it's good to hear. But to be fair, having a competitive competition is great, isn't it? That's what we want. Nayland have done fantastically, but other sides pushing them is a good thing, isn't it, for the competition? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, and I think what made the competition alive is given the incentive off that. So finals day last year was a bit of an incentive for people to keep playing until the end, because historically Haverfordwest did dominate, Nayland has dominated. So sometimes people give up halfway through if they know, oh well, there's no chance of us winning now, we'll just give up. So I think it does give them that incentive. And last year was a high standard, and I think this year will be even higher.
And I do think if the Pembrokeshire seniors are looking for an addition, we've got one in the studio there. I reckon Gord could do a great job still for Pembrokeshire seniors, isn't it? Sign you up, Gord, no?
I wouldn't get in the county side of cricket, but I'll be honest.
I reckon you would. You like the shorter format as well, don't you?
I do. I love the shorter format. Yeah.
Good stuff. And I know pembrokeshiresport.co.uk, as always, will be covering the indoor league as well and doing a great job. Patrick, thank you. Good luck with it. It's great to hear it's flourishing. Really good luck to all the new sides and the returning teams as well. Have a really good indoor winter in Nayland. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Excellent stuff. Listen, we're going to come back in just a sec. So if you're watching on the Facebook page or wherever you're listening this evening, we'll be back for part 2 of Pure West Sport this Monday evening. Next.
Eaton-Evans